So this has been the second night in a row an older fighter has been dragged out of retirement for a payday. Stipe Miocic looked very old and slow. Now the commentary team even pointed that out, and Joe Rogan said it was the brutal elbows Stipe took in the first round that I think Joe thought the elbows concussed him or something like that. But you could clearly see from the very start of the first round, Stipe really couldn't turn his back and shoulders into the shots. He had to do like short arm punches. I wouldn't be surprised if his joints are just so messed up and his body just went stiff over the years out. That's normal for an aging, inactive fighter. What Stipe did have left is his fighting brain. His timing was still there. Despite his age and slowness, he was able to clip Jon Jones a few times. What I didn't like for Jones is he was so out of position trying to get out of the way of shots. Bending his back, leaning all the way over, off balance. He needed Conor McGregor in the crowd shouting, "Stand your base." It was awful, awful defense. He was able to get away with it now, but a younger fighter would give him massive issues. It was very amateurish. If that was a younger Stipe there, who was able to turn his punches over and get proper leverage into his shots, capitalise on Jon Jones being off balance and able to be more aggressive, Jon Jones' chin would have really been tested there. The first round, Jones did what you should do to an older fighter who's been out for a long time. Take him down, drain his energy, and see if he still has the explosiveness to get back up. That's what goes with age, and not training, the explosiveness. And it worked. Jones hit Stipe with vintage Jon Jones ground and pound. Very brutal, even cringe-worthy elbows. I'm very surprised Stipe's chin was able to keep up, honestly. Jon Jones was getting perfect leverage, tip of the elbow, straight on the jaw, multiple times. It shows Stipe can still take a very good shot. He was able to be a veteran, just tie up the arms when he could, stay calm, don't panic, absorb the shots, and wait until the next round. Then Stipe looked visibly tired and Jones started working the body, which the front kick was hurting Stipe, causing visible cringe and panic dropping of the hands. Stipe didn't really have any defense for the front kick. It bewildered him. He's used to heavyweights trying to knock his block off. It's what you do to an older fighter and a guy with a good chin. You work the body. But this was also a pretty good round for Stipe. He was catching Jon Jones out of position and blitzing with his punches. It's surprising how well Stipe did, despite the obvious advanced age. What I think Jon Jones was working on here is hitting the body, making Stipe drop his arms, and coming up with a head kick, like what he did to Daniel Cormier. But Stipe was able to block the head kicks. Jones also rocked Stipe badly in the fight, which is surprising from Jones, who doesn't have much punching power, but he timed a good right hand. Jones also in this fight had very low volume. You'd expect him to be hitting constant body kicks and takedowns, but he just slowly looked to break Stipe down, possibly knowing if Stipe is already tired now, he's going to get finished at some point. Then the spinning back kick to end the fight was perfect. We've never really seen anyone work Stipe's bodies with kicks like that. Most people just usually boxed with him. This is the first kicker Stipe fought, so it makes sense that it bewildered him a bit. But what was also quite telling is Stipe in his post-fight interview said, "I'm retired, thank God." I think it's obvious Stipe left fighting behind him and was retired. He just came back for the bag, which the silver lining here is Stipe got that one last big payday. He's got the job as a firefighter, that's honourable work, and we don't have to worry about him being broke in the future. And then, Jon Jones, in his post-fight interview, when asked about Tom Aspinall, he didn't say Tom Aspinall's name, but he said he needs to negotiate with Hunter Campbell and Dana White. He said he'll maybe give us what we want. So the theory that Jon Jones was pretending to duck Tom Aspinall for money and to hype the fight playing the heel could be true. I wouldn't hold my breath to be honest, but it's possible. After this fight tonight though, if that was Tom Aspinall in there, I think Jon Jones loses and he loses quickly. Stipe Miocic was very slow and couldn't follow up when Jones was out of position. Tom is going to be able to do that, and a Tom Aspinall punch while you're leaned over off balance, can finish you. If Tom Aspinall has a grappling deficiency, Jones would have to submit him very quickly. I don't know if Jones can wrestle hard for 5 rounds anymore. He seems to have slowed the pace down to compensate for old age. If he can't submit Tom Aspinall quickly, or if he can't take Tom Aspinall down at all, he better have a cast iron jaw, because Tom is going to find that chin easily, and I can't see Jon Jones winning. I don't think it's competitive with Francis Ngannou either. I'd be very surprised if Jones could even go the distance with these two. Athletically, they're just monsters, and you don't want them to touch you on the chin. Jones was at his best as a young man who had a height and reach advantage over his opponents, who were usually older men. It's a good fight because Jon Jones is a name, but the Stipe that he fought isn't lasting a round against Tom Aspinall or Francis Ngannou, so I don't think Jon Jones versus either one of them is a competitive fight at all, to be brutally honest, and that's what we're here for. I think the most likely fight next is Jon Jones versus Alex Pereira. I just don't think Jones is up for Tom Aspinall unless he gets a money offer he can't refuse. And beforehand I thought 100% it ends like foregone, but after tonight I don't really mind it as much. It depends on if Alex could survive on the ground, because on the feet, because the way Stipe was able to time him, Alex could time him much better. I think the age of Jon Jones makes the fight competitive. I think he looked good in the first round, but that's definitely not a number 1 pound for pound fighter anymore. It could still end like versus foregone. I'm just not as convinced of it anymore, honestly. If he does go that route, I would want Jon Jones to drop the heavyweight title. If you're a champion, you must fight the number 1 contender, and he's had the gimme fight. If he drops it, then you can fight who you want. You can fight for fun. Nobody should be worried after that. But you can't have the title and then fight who you want. That ruins the sport. If you want a title, use the BMF or make a GOAT belt. Let Tom Aspinall ascend to heavyweight champion so he can start to build his title defenses and start to become a legend. Then it's all fair. Anyway, these are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments.